Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan and today I am doing the no disclaimer book tag, and I was tagged in this by the ladies at Peachy Fishy Books, and I was tagged months ago and I'm finally getting around to doing all my tag videos that I've been tagged in, so here we going with this one. And as the title says, there's no disclaimers, so don't get butthurt. First question for this tag is, what tropes in books annoy you the most? And I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but love triangles, I'm done with. Honestly, I really can't stand like indecisive characters who just take forever to figure out what they want, or are being emotionally abusive to other people by not making a decision and dragging them through the dirt and mud. Also, of course, abusive relationships in books. Those are not good. I am done with those. I have no space or energy left to read about characters who are in unhealthy abusive relationships where it's not ever said that this is an unhealthy abusive relationship and it's not okay. I'm not interested in reading those. And which writers do you feel are overhyped? And for this one, I'm definitely gonna say Sarah J. Maas. I recently did a whole video on why I'm not going to be reading her book, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it down below. But I'm also going to say James Patterson. I know that he's a very famous and popular author in the States, although he's not crazy popular on BookTube. I just have never been able to get into any of his books. I did not enjoy them. I found the writing bad, and the plots were predictable, and I just never cared about any of the characters that he writes, so he's just not one that I have felt was ever as good as a lot of other people think he is. And number 3, what are some of your least favorite books you've read since joining BookTube? Some people might be a little bit upset that I picked this book, but I'm gonna say Fangirl and Shadow and Bone. Those 2 books I read and I really did not enjoy. I listened to the audiobook of Fangirl, and I found her character to be annoying. I found a lot of the other characters to be really annoying, and I did not enjoy the Simon and Bass story that I had to listen to at all. I found that really boring, and I felt like it was just a fanfic for Harry Potter, and which it is. It's 100% just a fanfic for Harry Potter. I really found myself not that interested in the characters and the storyline, and it was not something that I really enjoyed listening to. I only listened to it because so many people on BookTube were like hyping it up, and they talked about how much they loved it and how good it was, and I can like understand why people enjoyed it. I just really didn't. And then Shadow and Bone, I read the first book, and I have it somewhere, and I really did not like it that much. I enjoyed it more than Fangirl, but I felt like the writing could have been a lot better. The storyline was predictable, and the characters felt like overused tropes, and I've seen these kind of characters 1,000 times before. The Darkling was kind of interesting, but I just didn't care enough about the other characters to like read the next couple of books when there's so many other books that I'm way more interested in reading. Question number 4 is a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise quality book. And for this one, I'm definitely gonna say Allegiant. Although the book wasn't that good to begin with, the ending just ruined everything that the series had going for it. The ending was awful, and I'm not gonna go into any spoilers if you haven't read it, but it was a terrible ending, and if you've read it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I will just say I was not okay at the end of that book, and I was just really annoyed. And number 5 is, which fictional characters do you wish were not killed off? And for this one, I'm going to use an answer from Mockingjay. I'm not going to go with Harry Potter. I try to kind of like give you like other answers other than Harry Potter, but I'm going to talk about Mockingjay, and I'm going to go into spoilers because you can't not go into spoilers with this question. So if you haven't read Mockingjay and you want to skip, I'll put a little time stamp up here to skip ahead to. But without further ado, skip ahead because spoilers are coming up. The death that I really did not want to see, and you're probably thinking, oh, was it Prim? I mean, Prim's death I did not want to happen, but I could actually be okay with that. I'm not gonna cry. I just wanted Finnick to live. Oh, no tears. It's okay. Whew. I'm good. It's great. No tears here. I love Finnick, okay? I love Finnick Odair. I love his character, and he is and he just deserved so much more. He finally got his happy ending. He finally got what he had been wanting after everything terrible that he had to go through. He finally got Annie, and they were about to have a baby, and he didn't even get to meet his son. And okay, I'm not okay. I was not okay at the end of that book, and talking about it just brings up undue emotions. Yeah, we're gonna go on to the next question because I can't word coherently right now. I'm okay. Phew, we're good. Question number 6 is, what are some of your bookish pet peeves? This one's really easy. Okay, I'll show you. Throne of Glass. It's the first book in a series, right? Where is the number? Why is there no number on this book? Why? There's no number on the book or any of the books in the series, or even in the Luna Chronicles, or even in Twilight. Like, why? Why do they do this to us? It would make my life and so many book nerds' lives easier if you could put the number on a series of books, because it gets so confusing when you're trying to buy books or you're trying to read books in the correct order, but there's no number on it, and then you have to like look it up on the internet. You have to try and go in the back of the book to figure out which book is the first book, and like we've made the mistake of buying the third book in a series because there was no number on it. And also, I read The Dreadful Tale of Prospero Redding, and I had no idea that was not a standalone novel, and putting the number on it saying number 1 would have clued me into the fact that this was going to be a series and that this was not just a standalone novel. So that is one of my major bookish pet peeves. I wish that publishers and book designers could put a simple number on the book. It's not that difficult. It's really not. Look, over here. Over here we have The Ranger's Apprentice, and this one, it says Book 1, The Ruins of Borloo. And in the other books in the series, they have Book 2, Book 3 on the spine, not on this one, but it has it on the front. So that's how you tell which is the first book or the second or the third or the fourth in the series, so you can keep track of your book reading. It's so helpful. Book designers, get it together. It's not that difficult. Just put a stinking number on the book, please. And then question number 7 is, what are some books that you feel should have some more recognition? And for this one, I'm going to bring out a book I just did, and that is The Ranger's Apprentice by John Flanagan. I love these books, and I love all the books in the series. The characters are fantastic. The plots are really good. The villains are intriguing, and a lot of the characters get really satisfying character arcs, and you get to see them grow and change from like 10, 11-year-old boys to full-grown adults with their own adult problems and sometimes kids, and I just love to see the progression and the change in these characters, and I love to see all the adventures they went on, and it's just such a great series. But I never see anyone talk about it on BookTube, and I don't know why, because it's such a good series. Another series that I'm going to quickly mention as well is over here. Don't mind my slightly destroyed copy of the book. Is Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I love this book. And if you don't know anything about it, it's pretty much a young girl and her father living on their own, and her father can read characters out of books when he reads out loud and reads fictional characters into the real world. And I love that idea, and I loved how this is all about books. And I have, obviously, if you cannot tell from how destroyed it is, I have read it and reread it, and I have loaned it out to family and friends, and I just adore this series. So that is just another one that I haven't really seen people like ever mention on BookTube, and I know that this is an older series, so I don't expect a lot of people to be talking about it all the time, but I've hardly ever seen anyone mention this series, and I loved it so much, and I love the characters and the story and the fantasy adventure that we end up going on in this book, and it's in the book series, and the villains are great, and I just love the progression of the characters and the story, and it was just so much fun. And then we get to question number 8, which is, what are your thoughts on censorship in books? This is like a complicated question, I feel. I mean, if you're asking if I think, like, should countries ban books, that is not something I think. I don't think countries should have the power to, like, ban books from the people, because that's a way of controlling information and stopping, like, freedom of speech and infringing on people's rights. But if you're talking about like school libraries or public libraries, I have no issue with them banning certain books, especially for school libraries, because there are some books that I don't think kids should be reading. And I have no issue with them saying, no, we're not going to have that book at our school because it promotes harmful ideals, and we don't want our children or our teenagers being influenced by these kind of books. So it depends on like what context you are asking the question, so I'm not sure exactly what it wants, but that's just kind of a quick answer to the question. I feel like it's a more complicated issue. I also don't feel like banning books is really that helpful though, because we have the internet, unless you also ban the internet, which I know in some countries, in some third world countries, they have control of the internet and the flow of information, so they don't let people go on a lot of websites, which obviously is wrong. My quick thoughts and opinion on that question. And then we have question 9, which is who do you tag? And I'm going to tag Kristen's Library, The Literary Life, and a chapter from Aisha. I'm just going to put everybody else who I've tagged for this video in the description because I'm drawing a blank right now. This is like the 3rd or 4th video I filmed in a day, so my mind's kind of scrambly. So I'm just going to put everybody else who I'm tagging in the description below, and if I haven't tagged you and you want to do this video, do it. Yeah, that is all for now. So thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down to my channel if you want more bookish content from me. And that's all. Bye!